Welcome back. Still watching Business Incorporated on Channels Television. We head to the markets now with Aniti Edet. Aniti, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Nini, and happy new month.
Happy new month to you.
And of course, the first trading day of September, the last month for the third quarter. We've all been looking out for that month, September, to remember. So, but first, let's talk about the intraday numbers, which ended coming off from what the month of August ended. So the market was able to sustain the 96,000 level, which it left the month of August, which was it ended the last trading day of August up by 0.63%. But at intraday, the market is up more than 0.25%, 0.33% at 96,898.37, and trying to get its way back. Warm its way back into the 97,000 level, and if possible, before the end of the year, go back to the 100,000 level, which we had seen earlier a couple of months ago. So, but this is so far for the market. And then the JSE, which is the lone loser at intraday for the start of September trading session for markets all across the world, 0.46% down at intraday. And then, of course, it has dropped below the 84,000 points, which we saw sometime last week, at 83,363.63. The threes have it there across this number here for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange All-Share Index at intraday. And for the other side of the market, EGX 30, that's for Egypt, you see it at 0.11%. Intraday, 30,000, and almost going back into the 31,000 level, which we had seen some time ago. And for the Nairobi Stock Exchange, for the close of Friday, 0.232%. Still, that's the smallest amount of number here. All the rest are in the thousands, while this is just in the hundreds of points, just about slightly higher than 100 points. Now, let's talk about Nigeria's stock markets. First, we're reviewing the month of August, which we saw the market down by 1.22%, and at the same time, the number of the value of returns has dropped all the way from what we saw. We had seen about a 39.8% year to date, but that has been trimmed down all the way to about 29.1%. And then we'll be talking about more about the month of August and what to look out for in this month of September. And to give us more insights and analysis on that, let's bring in Peter Abe, Dr. Peter Abe, equity trader with Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers. Thank you for joining us, Peter.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, so Dr. Peter, quite a lot to chew in the month of August, where we saw 50 stocks were down, 64 were up. And of course, this is the first time that we see since April that the markets ended the month in the red, 1.22%. We'll be showing that on the board there. So now, can you give us a brief highlights of all the activities where we saw large cap companies bringing this market into the red for the close of August?
All right, so like you mentioned, month to date, the whole share index lost 1.22%. If we look at the breakdown of the sectors that performed during the month, banking was positive, gained 6.96%. Consumer was also positive for the month, 4.3%. Oil and gas also gained 22% during the month, and insurance. I think the lagging sector was industrial, which lost 13.06%. I think we could really see, some drop in some names in that sector, and that affected the all-share index for the year. So, for the month. So overall, if you look at just one sector really lag behind, it's really impacted the ASI for the month of August.
Okay, so Dr. Peter, you were talking about the industrial goods counter, where we see the big giants there, the Dangote Cement is there, Boa Cement is there, Lafarge is there. So what could be the reason why these components of the industrial goods sector, what could be the reason for their decline?
Well, if you have been following most of these consumer names and industrial, the challenges have been issue of the losses being made on the back of their foreign exchange loan, I think in terms of valuation of their loans. So I think if you look at most of these names, and I mean, as we get more numbers coming in from consumer as well as industrial, we'll begin to see most of these losses coming in from this sector. So at the end of the day, the investors look at these losses and also the strategies that are being put in place by these companies and how soon they will be able to turn around the losses and make gains. So there will be initial reactions like we have seen in the industrial and just a tiny gain of 4% in consumer. But we feel that as consumers see more of the strategies of these companies, we expect a good turnaround in these names.
Okay, so Peter, Dr. Peter, so that takes me to my final question with you. The bank recapitalization is still very much in the news since it was announced at the end of March. And then, of course, we're gradually climbing into the final months of 2024. And we see the banking index is down year to date 4.46%. Now, what is your outlook for this counter in the month of September? And what are we to expect further from this industry?
Okay, so like you mentioned, the banking names are recapitalizing at the moment. In the month of August, GTCO closed their offer, public offer, and Fidelity as well. Zenith is still up, and FCMB. So if you look at all these names, especially as Zenith released their H1 numbers on last week Friday, which was positive. So going forward, I think it's a positive one. The whole essence of this recapitalization is to ensure that they have enough funds to meet the needs of their clients as well as the economy as a whole. So going forward, I think it will be positive as more of these capitals are raised and also deployed into the economy.
Okay, that's a wonderful outlook. And we just hope that your optimism, it will come in line with the market realities. Thank you so much for your time on our show, Dr. Peter.
Thank you for having me.